హలో,
వినబడుతుందండి అనిల్ గారు.
వినపడుతుందండి? ఓకే, ఆల్రైట్. థ్యాంక్ యూ మేడం, థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్. లెట్స్ గెట్ స్టార్ట్. ఇట్స్ అబౌట్ 8:45 నౌ. సో ప్రధానంగా వెల్కమ్ ఆల్ ఫర్ ద సెషన్ టుడే. ఈరోజు మనము సత్యం గురించి కొంచెం అవగాహన తెచ్చుకుందాము. అలానే సత్యంతో పాటు మనకి మన లోపల ఉన్న ఏవైతే మనకి యోగానిలో సిద్ధి పొందడానికి అడ్డుపడుతున్నాయో వాటి గురించి కొంచెము వివరంగా, కొంచెం ప్రస్ఫుటంగా వివరంగా వాటి గురించి, దోషాల గురించి మనం జస్ట్ వి విల్ టాక్ అబౌట్ ఇట్. సో మనందరము ఏంటంటే సత్యము అనేది తెలుసుకోవాలి. సత్యం అంటే ఏమిటి, దాని మీద ఏమిటి నాకు మక్కువ ఉంది, దాని గురించే నాకు ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ కావాలి అనేది మనందరికీ తెలిసిన విషయం. ఎందుకంటే ఉన్నది సత్యం ఒక్కటే కాబట్టి దాని పలు భంగిమలలో, పలు నామాలతో, రూపాలతో అన్ని పిలిచారు. కానీ ఇందులో ఏంటి అంటే ఏ మూలాన్ని నుంచి అయితే మనం వచ్చామో ఆ మూల వస్తువుకి సంబంధించిన వాళ్ళము ఆ మూలానికి వెళ్ళిపోవడము అనేది సత్యం. ఇప్పుడు అది నాకు తెలియకుండా ఉండడానికి ఒకటి, ఈ భూమి మీదకి వచ్చిన తర్వాత మాయా అన్న పొర, దానినే అజ్ఞానము అన్నారు. లేకపోతే ఒక స్థాయిలో పండిత దృష్టిలో అవిద్య అన్నారు. ఏ బ్రహ్మ విద్య అంటే ఏ మహావిద్య అయితే నాకు ఉంటే ఆ సత్యము ఎప్పుడూ నాకు ఎరుకలో ఉంటుందో ఆ విద్యకి సంబంధించిన జ్ఞానము కానీ అనుభవం కానీ లేదు కాబట్టి తద్వారా నేను నా జీవితాన్ని ఉన్న స్థితిలోనే ఉన్నతంగా, అంటే నాకు తెలిసిన పరిధిలోనే నా మనస్సుకి అందిన విషయాన్ని తీసుకుని నేను జీవితం గడుపుతూ ఉన్నాను. ఇది మనందరికీ తెలిసిందే. సో ఇప్పుడు ఇది సత్యము అన్న విషయాన్ని నేను తెలుసుకోవాలి అనేది ఒకటి ఉంది, అంటే సత్యం అనేది ఒకటి ఉంది, దాన్ని నేను తెలుసుకోవాలి. ఈ సత్యము గురించే నేను ప్రతి జన్మలో భూమి మీదకు వస్తున్నాను, కర్మలు తెచ్చుకుంటున్నాను, తద్వారా కర్మశేషాన్ని తుంచుకుంటున్నాను, కొన్ని విషయాల్లో పెంచుకుంటున్నాను. ఇలా రకరకాలుగా నన్ను నేను మభ్యపెట్టుకుంటూ నేను తిరిగే ఈ యానాన్ని జీవిత యానం అన్నారు. అంటే జీవ పరంపర అన్నారు. అంటే ఒక జీవుడు వచ్చినప్పుడు తన పరంపర తీసుకుని వెళ్తూ ఉంటాడు, వస్తూ ఉంటాడు, వెళ్తూ ఉంటాడు, వస్తూ ఉంటాడు, దీనికి అంతు లేదు అన్నారు. సో ఇప్పుడు నాకు కావాల్సింది ఏంటి అంటే ఒక్కటే కావాలి, సత్యం కావాలి. సత్యము నాకు తెలిస్తే ఇక నేను తెలుసుకోవాల్సిందంటూ ఏమీ లేదు. కానీ సత్యము తెలియకుండా మిగతావన్నీ తెలుస్తున్నాయి. అటు జగత్తు గురించి, అంటే లోకం గురించి బాగా నాకు అవగాహన ఉంది, నా గురించి, నా వాళ్ళ గురించి నాకు బాగా అవగాహన ఉంది, నేను చేసే పనుల గురించి నాకు బాగా అవగాహన. ఇప్పుడు దీన్నే శాస్త్రం ఏమంటుంది అంటే నువ్వు చేసే నీ సాధనకి నువ్వు తెలుసుకున్న ఈ విషయాలే నీకు అడ్డుపడుతున్నాయి. చాలా సింపుల్ గా చెప్పింది శాస్త్రం. ఇప్పుడు ఏవైతే నువ్వు తెలుసుకున్నావో చిన్నప్పటి నుంచి, ఆ చిన్నప్పటి నుంచి నువ్వు తెలుసుకున్న విషయాలే నిన్ను నీ ఉన్నత స్థితి, అంటే అక్కడ సత్యాల్లో ఏ సత్యం అయితే నువ్వు వచ్చావో, ఏ సత్యంతో అయితే నువ్వు వచ్చావో అక్కడికి నువ్వు వెళ్ళడానికి అడ్డుపడుతున్నాయి. దాన్ని శాస్త్రం ఎలా చెప్పింది అంటే వాసన అంది. అంటే విషయ వాసన అన్న ఒక పదాన్ని వాడింది అక్కడ. విషయాలను నేను ఎంతగా పోగేసుకుంటే అంతగా నేను సత్యానికి దూరం అయిపోతాను. ఆ విషయాలు నాకు ఎక్కడి నుంచి వస్తున్నాయి అంటే మన యొక్క జ్ఞానేంద్రియాల నుంచి, కర్మేంద్రియాల నుంచి మనం తీసుకున్న ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్. ప్రధానంగా జ్ఞానేంద్రియాల నుంచి తీసుకున్న ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్. ఇప్పుడు ఆ జ్ఞానేంద్రియాల నుంచి నేను ఏ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ అయితే తీసుకున్నానో ఆ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ నేను తీసుకోవడం వల్ల దానిని కరెక్ట్ గా ప్రాసెస్ చేసే మనస్సు లేకపోవడం వల్ల నేను సత్యానికి దూరం అయిపోతున్నాను. ఉన్నది ఉన్నట్టుగా తీసుకుంటే పర్వాలేదు, కానీ ఉన్నది లేనట్టుగా, లేనిది ఉన్నట్టుగా తీసుకుంటున్నాను. అక్కడ దోషం వచ్చింది. సో ఇప్పుడు ఈ నా సాధన కానీ నేను చేసే, ఇప్పుడు మనకి పత్రి గారు కానీ ఏ మహానుభావుడి దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళినా, ఏ గురువుని మీరు సందర్శించినా వారు చెప్పేది ఒకటే, ధర్మంలో ఉండు, అహింసతో ఉండు, సత్యంలో ఉండు అని. ఎందుకు అదే చెప్తారు, ఇంకా వేరే ఏం చెప్పడానికి లేదు అంటే వాటి వల్ల మాత్రమే మన మనస్సు లొంగుతుంది. ఏ విషయ వాసనలైతే మనని పట్టి పీడిస్తున్నాయో ఆ విషయ వాసనలని దాటి మనం వెళ్ళాలి అంటే మనకి చాలా చాలా ఉన్నతమైన ధార్మిక జీవనం కావాలి. అతి ముఖ్యమైన సత్యము గురించి పరిపూర్ణమైన అవగాహన కావాలి. ఇక మూడవది అహింసతో ఉండాలి. హింస మార్గాన్ని వదిలేయాలి. ఇప్పుడు ఈ మూడిటిని నేను చేస్తున్నాను, అయినా సరే నాకు సత్యము దక్కటం లేదు అంటే అక్కడ దానికి ఏం చెప్పింది అంటే రెండు మాటలు చెప్పింది. ఒకటి, ఏ విషయ వాసనలైతే నువ్వు పట్టుకున్నావో అవి నువ్వు వదిలించుకోవాలని ఒకటి చెప్పింది. రెండవది, తెచ్చుకున్న కర్మలు విరగాలని. రెండు చాలా బలీయమైన మాటలు శాస్త్రం చెప్పినవి. విషయ వాసనలన్నీ విరగాలి అని. విషయ వాసనలు అంటే విషయ వాసనలు రావడానికి కారణము సంస్కారము, సంస్కారానికి వెనకాల కర్మ, కర్మ వెనకాల జన్మ, ఇలా ఒక పరంపరగా ఉంది వెనక. అన్నిటి కర్మలోకే వస్తాయి. కానీ ఆ ఏ విషయాలైతే నేను తెచ్చి పెట్టుకుంటున్నానో, నేను విన్నవి కానీ, నేను కన్నవి కానీ, నేను చూసినవి కానీ, లేకపోతే నేను మాట్లాడినవి కానీ, నేను తెలుసుకుని ఆచరించినవి కానీ, అంటే సత్యానికి సంబంధం లేని ఆచరణ ఏదైతే చేశానో అవి నాకు అడ్డుపడుతున్నాయి. ఈ రోజు మనం కూర్చుని ధ్యానము, నువ్వు 6 గంటలు ధ్యానం చెయ్యి నాయన అన్నామంటే నేను 6 గంటలు ధ్యానము చెయ్యలేను అని కటాకట్టుగా చెప్తా. ఎవరైనా చెప్తా, నేను కూర్చోలేను 6 గంటలు. అదే 6 గంటలు కూర్చుని నువ్వు మహారుద్రాభిషేకం చెయ్యి, లేకపోతే నారాయణీయంతో ఉపాసన చెయ్యి అన్నామంటే చేస్తాను అంటాం. వీటిల్లో ఏది సత్యం? ధ్యానము సత్యజ్ఞాన ప్రదాయిని, పూజ సత్యజ్ఞాన ప్రదాయిని కాదు కదా, ఉపాసన సత్యజ్ఞాన ప్రదాయిని కాదు కదా. అయినా మనం ఎందుకు దాని వైపే మక్కువ చూపుతున్నాం? 6 గంటలు కూర్చుంటాం అక్కడ కూడా. అంటే ఇక్కడ ఒక్కటే మనకి డిఫరెన్స్ ఏమిటి అంటే, నా మనస్సు పరిపూర్ణంగా సంస్కరింపబడలేదు. దేని మీద కావాలి నాకు ఆ సంస్కారము? సత్యం మీద సంస్కారం కావాలి. నన్ను నేను తెలుసుకోవాలి అన్న అద్భుతమైన విషయం, అంటే నన్ను నేను తెలుసుకోవడానికంటే కూడా అద్భుతమైన విషయం ఇక ఈ లోకంలో ఏదీ లేదు అన్న విషయము నాకు పరిపూర్ణంగా అర్థం కావాలి. అన్ని కోణాల్లో అర్థం కావాలి. ఒక కోణంలో అర్థమవుతే తెలియదు, అన్ని కోణాల్లో అర్థం కావాలి. తాపత్రయాలు విరగాలి, దోషాలు ఉపశమించాలి, యోగ మార్గంలో నేను చేసే ధ్యానాలు, ఈశనత్రయం మనం మాట్లాడతాం కాసేపట్లో, ఈశనత్రయం శమించాలి. ఇన్ని జరిగితే కానీ ఆ స్థితి నాకు రాదు. అందుకనే నిరంతరమైన సాధన చెయ్యి, నిరంతరమైన సాధన చెయ్యి. ఎందుకు నిరంతరమైన సాధన చెయ్యి? సత్యము నీకు అందాలి అంటే నిరంతరమైన సాధన చెయ్యాలి. రెండవది ఏంటి అంటే, నా మనస్సే నన్ను బంధిస్తోంది అన్న విషయాన్ని మనం గ్రహించము, ఎవరం గ్రహించం. ఈ రోజు మనం ఇక్కడ మాట్లాడుతున్న ఈ విషయాన్ని ఎంతమంది తీసుకుని వెళ్ళినప్పుడు ప్రతి క్షణం దాని గురించి ఆలోచిస్తున్నారు, దాని గురించి అవగాహన, దాని మీద అవగాహనలో ఉంటున్నారు అంటే అది ప్రశ్నార్థకమే. భగవద్గీతలో మనకి కృష్ణుడు, గీతాచార్యుడు ఏమన్నాడు? అభ్యాస వైరాగ్యాల చేత నీ మనస్సును ఆపచ్చయ్యా అన్నాడు. ఒక చిన్న మాటని తొలేశాడు. అక్కడ అభ్యాసము అంటే ధ్యానము, వైరాగ్యము అంటే ఇహమూత్ర ఫలభోగ విరాగము. అంత సులభంగా వస్తుందా వైరాగ్యము? వైరాగ్యము రావాలి అంటే పూర్వజన్మ సుకృతం ఉండాలి. ఎంతో పరిశ్రమ చేస్తే కానీ వైరాగ్యము రాదు. భక్తికి పరాకాష్ట, అంటే భక్తి అనేది మనలో పుట్టాలి అంటే దానికి మినిమం క్వాలిఫికేషన్ వైరాగ్యం అన్నారు. భక్తి అన్నప్పుడు కన్ఫ్యూజన్ లో రాకూడదు మనం. భక్తి అన్నప్పుడు అదే గీతాచార్యుడు మనకు అందించాడు. ఏమన్నారు అంటే, భక్తి అంటే స్వస్వరూపానుసంధానం అన్నాడు. స్వస్వరూపానుసంధానం అంటే నువ్వెవరో నువ్వు తెలుసుకోవడం, నీ నిజస్వరూపం ఏమిటో నువ్వు తెలుసుకోవడం అనేది భక్తి అన్నారు. అంతేగాని దైవాన్ని తెలుసుకోవడం భక్తి అనలేదు. ఇప్పుడు నేను కృష్ణుని తెలుసుకుంటాను అంటే అది అది కృష్ణుడిని తెలుసుకో, ఆ రూపాన్ని, కృష్ణుడు అనే రూపాన్ని కానీ, కృష్ణుడు అనే నామాన్ని కానీ నేను పట్టుకుంటే అది భక్తి కాదు అన్నాడు. ఆ కృష్ణుడే చెప్పాడు భగవద్గీత, స్వస్వరూపానుసంధానం అన్నాడు. ఇది భక్తి విభీయతే. ఆ భక్తి అన్న మాటకి నన్ను నేను తెలుసుకోవడం అనేది. ఇప్పుడు భక్తి అన్న, జ్ఞానం అన్న, కర్మ అన్న, అంటే కర్మయోగం, ఎక్కడ యోగాలు ఉన్నాయో మార్గాలు, ధ్యానం యోగం అన్న వీటన్నిటికీ అల్టిమేట్ గా ఒక్కటే అవుట్కమ్, రిజల్ట్ ఏమిటి అంటే జ్ఞానము. జ్ఞానాత్ రేవతు కైవల్యం. ఆ జ్ఞానము కోసం మనం చేస్తున్నాము. అడ్డదారులు తొక్కుతున్నాము, పక్కకి వెళ్ళిపోతున్నాము, అదో ఇదో ఏదేదో ట్రై చేస్తున్నాం, అది కావాలనుకుంటున్నాం, ఇది కావాలనుకుంటున్నాం, హ్యాపీ లైఫ్ అనుకుంటున్నాం, బయట చూసేవన్నీ మనకి ఇంట్లో కావాలనుకుంటున్నాం. ఎన్ని రకాలుగా మనని మనం మభ్య పెట్టుకోవాలో అన్ని రకాలుగా మనని మనం మభ్య పెట్టుకుంటున్నాం. దీనికి ప్రధానమైన కారణం ఏమిటంటే విషయ వాసనలు. సత్యానికి దూరం అవ్వడానికి ప్రధానమైన కారణం ఏమిటి అంటే విషయ వాసనలు. ఈ విషయ వాసనలను లంపటం, ఇది ఒక లంపటం అంటే అది ఒక ఒక గుజ్జులాగా అతుక్కుపోయింది మనకి. మన మనస్సు అది ఒక గుండు సూది అయస్కాంతం అతుక్కున్నట్టు అతుక్కుపోయాయి. ఇప్పుడు ఆ అతుకు విరగాలి. ఆ విరగడం కోసమే మనం చేస్తున్నాం సాధన. సో ధ్యానము చేసినప్పుడు ఎప్పుడైనా సరే ఒక్కటే మనకి ఉండాలి అని అటు శాస్త్రము కానీ ఇటు వేదాంతము కానీ ఈ రెండిటి మధ్యలో ఉన్న మనకి గురువులు ఏవైతే మనకి అంటే ఎలా అయితే ఇహమూత్ర ఫలభోగ విరాగ వైరాగ్య అన్న మాటకి నిర్వచనం చేశారో వారి జీవితంలో వారు దాన్ని అన్వయం చేసి దాన్ని అనుభవించి చూపించారు. ఇలా నువ్వు దీన్ని దాటచ్చు నాయన. సో ఆ ఎగ్జాంపుల్స్ చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్. మనకి ఒక గురువుని ఎగ్జాంపుల్, ఒక గురి మనకు ఉండాలి ఎప్పుడైనా, లేకపోతే మనం ముందుకు వెళ్ళలేం. సో మనకి ఇప్పుడు సొసైటీలో పత్రి గారు ఎలా దీన్ని నువ్వు చేయొచ్చు అనేది చూపించారు. ఆయన ప్రధానంగా ఏం చెప్పారు? సజ్జన సాంగత్యం చేయి, స్వాధ్యాయనం చేయి, సాధన చేయి, సత్సంగం చేయి, సత్యంతో సంగం చేయి, ఎప్పుడు సత్యంతో సంఘంలో ఉండు అన్నారు. ఆయన అన్న ఆ ఒక్క మాటకు అర్థం ఏమిటి అని మనం లోపలికి వెళ్తే ఒక్కటే, సత్యముతో నువ్వు సంఘం చేయడం వల్ల ఏం జరుగుతుంది అంటే వాసన పోతుంది, విషయ వాసన పడిపోతుంది. విషయ వాసన పడిపోగానే వైరాగ్యం మొదలవుతుంది. తనంతట తానుగానే లోపల నుంచి వైరాగ్యం వస్తుంది. ఈ రెండిటికి అవినాభావ సంబంధం. మీకు ఎప్పుడైతే విషయాల మీద మక్కువ తగ్గిపోయిందో, విషయము అంటే అక్కడ చాలా జాగ్రత్తగా పట్టుకోవాలి. లౌకికమైన విషయాలు, రైట్, మనకి సంబంధించినవి అంటే మన రిలేషన్షిప్స్ వాటికి సంబంధించిన విషయాలు, అలానే లోకానికి సంబంధించిన విషయాలు. లోకము అన్నప్పుడు ఏంటంటే కీర్తి, డబ్బు, వాటిని అనుసరించి ఉండే ఈ మూడిటికి సంబంధించిన విషయాలు మనకి కనుక ఆ వాసన తగ్గితే, దాని యొక్క ఇంటెన్సిటీ తగ్గింది అనుకోండి, ఆటోమేటిక్ గా మనం లోపలికి వెళ్తాం. ఈ రోజు నేను లోపలికి వెళ్ళలేకపోవడానికి, రేపు నేను పొందాల్సింది పొందలేకపోవడానికి ఒకటే నాకు అడ్డు, నా లోపల ఉన్న నా విషయాలు. అవి బయట ఉన్నవి ఉన్నాయి, కానీ ఆ బయట ఉన్నవి నేను లోపలికి తీసుకొచ్చి పెట్టుకున్నాను. ఎప్పుడైతే లోపలికి తీసుకొచ్చి పెట్టుకున్నామో అప్పుడు నుంచి అవి మనకి సత్యానికి అడ్డుపడుతున్నాయి. ఇది మనందరము సాధకులం అందరము బాగా రియలైజ్ అవ్వాలి. ప్రతి నిమిషము ప్రతి సెకండ్ ఈ రియలైజేషన్ మనకు ఉండాలి, ఈ ఎరుక మనకు ఉండాలి. దానికోసము మనం సాధన చేస్తున్నాం. ఇప్పుడు సాధనమున పనులు సమకూరు ధరలోన అన్నారు. సాధన దేనికి అంటే ఈశనత్రయం ఒకటి విరగాలి, ఇహమూత్ర ఫలభోగ విరాగ వైరాగ్యం కావాలి, తద్వారా భక్తి ప్రస్ఫుటంగా నా లోపల కుదరాలి, తదనుగుణంగా యోగంలో అధికారం కావాలి, తద్విశేషంగా సంబంధించిన జ్ఞానాన్ని పొందాలి, పొంది మోక్షం వైపు అడుగులేయాలి. ఇంత కథ ఉంది లోపల. ఇందులో రెండు విషయాలు మన కృష్ణుడు చెప్పేశాడు ఆయన గీతలో. ఏమన్నాడంటే నాయన ఈ అభ్యాస వైరాగ్యాలని చెప్పి వదిలేశాడు. ఇప్పుడు ఈ అభ్యాస వైరాగ్యాలలో వైరాగ్యం అనేది సంచరించడానికి విషయ భోగాల నుంచి బయటికి రావాలి అనుకున్నాం. ఇప్పుడు విషయోభోగాల నుంచి బయటికి ఎలా రావాలి? ప్రధానమైన ప్రశ్న కదా. అంత సులభం కాదు కదా. మనం ప్రతిరోజు చాలా విషయాలు, నాకు లైక్స్ డిస్లైక్స్ చాలా ఉన్నాయి జీవితంలో, చిన్నప్పటి నుంచి ఎన్నో ఉన్నాయి. సో ఎలా నేను దీన్ని తప్పించుకొని రావాలి బయటికి అంటే, అందుకే ఏం చెప్పారు అంటే దాని గురించి విశేషంగా ఆలోచించమన్నారు. దేని గురించి ఆలోచించమన్నారు అంటే దానికి ఇప్పుడు ఒక విషయం నాకు విరగాలి అంటే తదనుగుణంగా ఏది చేస్తే విరుగుతుందో దాని మీద ఫోకస్ చేయమంటారు. మనస్సు ఏదైనా పట్టుకోవాలంటే దానికి ఉన్న లక్షణం ఏంటి అంటే దానిని తదేకం కనుక చూస్తే మనసు దాన్ని పట్టుకుంటుంది. అంటే ప్రాక్టీస్ ప్రాక్టీస్ ప్రాక్టీస్, సాధన సాధన సాధన. టీవీ మీద నాకు బాగా ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఉంది, ఎక్కువ సేపు టీవీ చూసేసి ఎక్కువసేపు నువ్వు కూర్చుని చేసుకుంటూ ఉంటే దాని మీదే ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఉంటుంది, ఏది చేసినా అదే గుర్తొస్తూ ఉంటుంది. అలానే నువ్వు ధ్యానం ఎక్కువసేపు చేసినా, బుక్స్ ఎక్కువ చదివినా, సత్యం గురించి ఎక్కువ తెలుసుకోవడానికి ప్రయత్నించినా, మనసు వద్దన్నా సరే దాని మీదకే మనం తీసుకెళ్లి కూర్చోబెడితే మొదట్లో బలవంతంగా చేయాలి, తర్వాత సహజంగా జరుగుతుంది. ఇంకొంచెం పెరిగిన తర్వాత మనస్సే గుర్తు చేస్తుంది చెయ్యమని. ఏమిటి టైం అయింది ఇంకా నువ్వు వెళ్ళలేదు అంటు. అలా మనము సత్యం వైపు దగ్గరవ్వాలి. ఏదైతే నాకు కనపడదో, ఏదైతే నాకు వినపడదో, అంటే యతో వాచ నివర్తంతే అప్రాప్య మనసాసహ అన్నారు కదా సత్యాన్ని. దానిని నేను తెలుసుకోవడం ఎలా అంటే, తెలుసుకోవడము అన్న విషయాన్ని కనుక మనం జాగ్రత్తగా చూస్తే అది తెలుసుకోవడానికి ఏమీ లేదు అన్న విషయం తెలుస్తుంది. లాస్ట్ టైం కూడా మనం మాట్లాడినప్పుడు వి స్పోక్ అబౌట్ మెటీరియల్ సబ్జెక్ట్స్, రైట్? Like for example, mathematics. You want to learn mathematics. There is an object, there is a subject, and there is something called intelligence. Through అంటే మన తెలివితోటి మనము, నేను అనేవాడు ఆ సబ్జెక్ట్ ని, ఆబ్జెక్ట్ అనేవాడు సబ్జెక్ట్ ని నేర్చుకుంటాడు మ్యాథమెటిక్స్. ఇక్కడ మూడు ఉన్నాయి. మరి ఇక్కడ ఈ బ్రహ్మ విద్యకి, ఈ సత్యానికి ఏమున్నాయి? సత్యానికి అంటే ఇక్కడ మూడు, సబ్జెక్ట్ అనేది, ఆబ్జెక్ట్ అనేది, ఇంటలెక్ట్ అనేది, ఈ ఇట్లా మూడు ఏమీ లేవు. ఉన్నది ఒక్కటే. నేను ని తీసేస్తే అదే మిగిలింది అదే. whatever the subject that you are looking for, whatever the object that you are trying to become through, to go through, and whatever the intellect that you are trying to use, everything is one. So the only thing that you need to take out is that one. So the moment we take out that one, you have everything else. You have become that, what you are looking for. Now, this reality is where life is all about. This reality is where we need to get. This reality is what matters to each and every one of us. If I lost my identity, it's because of my own deeds or my own karmas or my own doings in whatever capacity we talk. Am I able to get out of it? No, I am not able to get out of it. The only way I can get out of it is me spending time again to practice it, to work towards it, to make sure that I have a way to get out of it. That is meditation. Let us not take meditation for the sake of doing meditation. Meditation has the highest power. It can take you to the truth. The very truth that gives you enlightenment. The very truth that takes you out of miseries of the world. The very truth that gives you peace and happiness to the highest extent. That very meditation can also take away your good issues on your daily lives. It is very important that we understand the power of meditation. Don't do meditation for sake of doing meditation. It is not for that kind of thing. If I want to accomplish something materially, you can always get that anytime by putting a good intention, by looking at something that you want to achieve. You can always do that. But if you continue to get everything in your life all the time I have wishes, all the time I need this, all the time I need that, then where is the time for you to know the truth? Where is the time for you to evolve and get out of this life, the business of samsara? There is no opportunity for any of us. So it is absolutely essential that we also understand that nature as to what we are meant to do and where we come from nature. And this is where one thing that we have to understand, that whenever I am sitting in my meditation, I have a problem. I have obstacles in my practice. What are those obstacles? We call them, the scriptures talk about this as Ishanatrayam. Ishanatrayam, Dareshana, Putreshana, Dhaneshana. It's called Ishanatrayam. These three things are the main obstacles for any progression to happen in yoga, in any yoga sadhana, if you will say, right? So let's talk about one at a time, right? What are the obstacles in yoga? Ishanatraya, Dhareshana, Putreshana, Dhaneshana. Dhareshana, what is that? Thirsty of the worldly objects. You are very thirst about the worldly affairs. You are struck with the politics, with your work, with the society, with the things you like, you dislike. Whatever we spoke earlier about the Vishaya Vasana, all that worldly affairs, whatever you bring into your mind, is the one that is holding you to get to know the truth. It is all in your mind. You got to let go of it. And this is the number one reason why most of us cannot even come and sit for meditation. Even though our group has 300 in total in Virginia and Maryland together, why is that we only have 12 of us on the call today? It is because of Dhareshana. It requires a lot of sankalpa. It requires a lot of your own understanding to pull yourself from these worldly affairs. And that's where you need vairagya, some form of vairagya. When we say vairagya, please don't misunderstand. Vairagya, what we are referring here, is not the temporary vairagya that you get out of others. The vairagya, what we are talking about here, is abhyasa vairagya. Abhyasa vairagya is a permanent vairagya that will not go away from you, that only comes from sadhana. There are other vairagyas. Prasuti vairagya, Purana vairagya, Smasana vairagya. These are temporary vairagyas. When somebody leaves body in our family, it's called Smasana vairagya. You get temporary, frustration or whatever because of the agonic movements, because of the relationship, whatever you feel like, I am done. It's all temporary. When you read a good scripture, Purana, you find some aspects of the stories that will give you some essence of truth. And you get connected to those realities and you say, oh, this is what it's all about, Jatas Shahi Druvor Muchuhu. Then you start to feel that, I am in Vairagya. That is all temporary. Please don't fall for that. Those things won't stick to you. Purana Vairagya. Prasuti Vairagya is when the mother gives birth to a child, right? The pain that she goes through, it is like, it's a new life for the mother as well for the baby. That pain without, because it goes through a lot of agonic movements, the mother starts to feel that I'm done. I don't want this kind of life, right? That is all temporary. It's all temporary. After 10 days, mother cannot leave the baby. Even after delivery itself, right? Mother cannot leave the baby. So again, the attachment comes back. That is Maya. Whenever we talk about Abhyasa Vairagya, remember that. Vairagyam means Abhyasa Vairagya. That is all what matters. And that is what we are referring here. Even the Gita Charya in the Bhagavad Gita, he talks about Abhyasa Vairagya. So with that, what is happening is Dhareshana, Ishanatrayam, Dhareshana is the most important one. Because of that, we are not able to come and sit for meditation, period. For any satsang, for any spiritual work, Sajjana Sangatya, Acharya Sangatya, sadhana, your own sadhana, swadhyaya, anything that needs to happen, you have to cross dareshana. World will always try to pull you down. That's the nature of the world. The affairs in your world, the affairs that you are surrounded will always try to pull you down. That is the nature. You have to overcome the nature. It is not like you're going against the nature. You understand that nature is going to pull you down, and you have to find a way to come above that with a greater understanding. That is called Dareshana. Most important thing. Why so many of us are suffering in life is because of Dareshana. I am attached to, some are attached to, some like to watch TV serials, some like to watch movies, some like to watch news, some like to sit and chit chat, some like to gossip, some likes to be on the phone, right? And some are so attracted that they wanted to sit with their family and keep talking. And some are so attached that they want to spend time with their kids all the time. They don't look at anything else. They just want to spend time with their kids all the time, worrying about kids' future, looking at what's next, how do I take this to next level and all that. You may have any type of attachment in the world. That is Dareshana. The first and foremost battle to come out of that is recognizing that you have one. It is very important that we all have to understand that we have to recognize what is holding me back. Only you can do that. None can help you to get out of that. You have to sit, you have to figure out what is that is holding you back from doing your own sadhana. Because when I say sadhana, when I say dhyana, when I say swadhyaya, sajjana sangatya, what does it mean? It's all about peace and happiness. So if I am not able to find time for peace and happiness, there is definitely something wrong in the way of living, in my way of living. And if I am not able to recognize that, that's a pity on me. Shame on me, actually, right? So every one of us have to sit down. Every one of us have to understand why I am not able to come and sit for what I need to do. Dareshana, we have to overcome. Find that two things that is holding us back. And believe me, it will happen repeatedly. It's not one time. It will happen repeatedly. And it is not easy to come out as well. Unless you have abundance of knowledge about truth and you are totally dedicated to the movement, it is not going to come. So it requires constant thinking to a point where what is that's holding me back? And what do I need? The second thing is, what do I need to do to overcome that? That's also important. What do I need to do? So if I tell you that, hey, there is a session coming up at today, 10 p.m. and then one of the master is going to come and he's going to talk about something about good knowledge. You really wanted to come at 10 p.m. and then join the session, but your mind has other plans. How do I recognize that? How do I overcome that? Knowing it is half the battle. Trying to overcome it is the other half. You have to find your own way. There is no one size fits all. There is no one formula that works for everything. You have to find your own sweet spots to overcome such things, to make sure that you want to have this greater understanding. Once you have enough knowledge about truth, once you understand the importance of peace, happiness, once you understand that we do not have to suffer in life, when that gets really, goes into your DNA, that is when nothing can hold you in the worldly affairs. And that practice is what we need to do. Every time you are not able to do, See, the way I practiced on my own is, 10 years back, I used to have this same kind of carvings for the worldly affairs and all that. Even I do now too. But the way I overcome is I used to recognize that after the fact and then think about it and then start to acknowledge the fact that, yes, I missed it. I used to write it down. I missed this session at so and so time. Like that, 2 times, 3 times, 4th time, my mind used to tell me, oh, okay, I'm missing every session that is happening. And what did I do during that time? Was that so productive that I missed the session? Sometimes I watched a movie. Sometimes I was out with the kids. Sometimes I was running with the family affairs. Whatever may be the reason, when I look back and try to correlate the timing of that session versus what I was doing, my doing was not that important. It has no value at all. I just wasted time because my mind is stuck in Dareshana, worldly affairs. It is not letting me go out. So we got to work towards coming out of that. Number 1. So second one, which is equally contributing factor, is Putreshana. Ishanatraya has got Dareshana, Putreshana, Daneshana. So Putreshana means what? It's also important thing. Existence, my existence forever, and my family, my relationships, my relatives, my near and dear, all the relationships, including your own self relationship. It's all Putreshana. We got to start to let go of things, but we don't. It is not always the case that you are attracted to the worldly affairs. You may be dragged into the worldly affairs as well by your own kin and kith. We all experience that. You want to do meditation, your kid comes and says, Dad, let's go for a movie. Attachment. You cannot say, kiddo, I'm doing meditation, please walk away. How many of us can do it? Can you raise your hand? It doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. Kids always win. Period. So, Putreshana. Same thing happens when somebody comes to our home. You are okay to sacrifice your peace and harmony and happiness. If someone is staying at home, saying that I need to engage them all the time, I cannot be here. I have a guest at home. I need to take care of things. I cannot do meditation. God. So your guest actually took away peace and harmony from you, happiness from you. Very natural to happen for all of us. We all go through this all the time, my dear friends. That is why this is a very important topic that we have to understand. What is stopping me from knowing the truth is Ishanatraya. When I try to move myself from one situation to other situation, there will be a third situation that comes out of it. We all experience it as well. Incidents, events, right? Sometimes you wanted to go deeper penance. Sometimes you wanted to go somewhere else. Your family comes and say, no, you cannot go there. You got to go to vacation. You got to do this, 3 days gone. You actually went to vacation to have the relaxation time, but instead you were running. How many of us went to Orlando? How many of us went to Los Angeles? Disney's of the world, theme parks of the world. What happens there? It's running. There is no vacation. It's just change of mind. We are tuned subconsciously to go and have fun, but that fun never happens because you are always anxious. You are always running in theme parks from morning till night. There is absolutely no opportunity for you to relax, rejuvenate, and accumulate more energies in silence so that when you come back, you are a new version of you. You don't have time for that. You go for a 4-day vacation, you have 4 days jam-packed. That's the truth. That's the reality. Why? Because of my family, because of my relationships, because of my commitments to the relationship. I am stuck. We cannot become sadhakas. There is adhikaritvam, adhikari. Every one of us have to become the adhikari to get that knowledge, to know the truth, to become one with the divine. That is to let go of everything else other than that one thing that you want to know. Are we ready to let go? Are we ready to sacrifice everything for that one divine oneness? That is the question each of us have to ask. Am I ready to sacrifice anything and everything? It doesn't mean that you are always stuck with it. But whenever you feel like you wanted to do meditation, whenever you feel like you wanted to read a book or you wanted to do some spiritual work, how is that your family coming in play? How is that your near and dear? How is that your relationship come in play? Are you able to put them aside and continue your role of sadhaka? That is the fundamental question we need to ask. Until we achieve that part, there is absolutely no realization. And the third one, which is equally important, is Dhaneshana. Dhaneshana means it's not just money, it's also fame. It is, I am running from morning till evening to earn money, to earn butter for my family. Right? Why is this a problem? It is not a problem as long as you earn for the rightful living. It becomes a problem when you go beyond the thinking. Having a car maybe is a necessity. Having a Lucid or Mercedes is not a necessity. You stretched yourself to get there. And hence, you can never be out. You have a necessity to buy a home. You don't have to buy a luxurious home. Necessity is invention of mother. We all know that. Even if you are able to go through the first one, right? Dhareshana, Putreshana, Dhaneshana is not easy to come over. Look at the affairs that's pulling us down, the nature, the very nature of this world, how it is easy to fall in the trap of the world, right? It is not easy unless you are very, very single-minded, very focused, and have a greater understanding of the truth. It is not easy. That's why that's why masters keep saying, you got to keep listening to these sessions. You got to work with the truth. You got to know the truth. You got to learn about it. You got to keep reminding yourself what truth is all about. Whatever the happiness today, because I am not aware of the true happiness that I get out of my meditation experience, I am in that phobia or illusion that when I earn money and buy luxury stuff in my home, that is what is happiness. But that happiness is nothing compared to the happiness that what we are talking. It is not even 1/1 of the happiness that we are talking that you get in meditation. Right? So the name and fame is gonna pull me down all the time. Because of that, I don't have time to do my sadhana. So many politicians, you see it today, right? So many, all the IT CEOs, right? All the corporate CEOs, corporate leaders who are there, they don't have time for anything because they are stuck with their daily work. You talk to any of the senior leadership on any of the corporate roles, you will find very easily that they're spending 14 hours, 15 hours, 16 hours every day to survive. Right? Dhaneshana, name and fame. We cannot get out. So it is also equally important to understand where you strike the balance. How much you want to earn versus how much you want to spend. If you don't have that balance, earning versus spending, life will go nuts. We all know that. Especially for truth seekers, you got to balance. Everything has to be in the middle path. Ati sarvatra varjayet. Anytime ati means more. Asa. Accumulate more. Need more fame. I need to be told. I need to be given. I need to be put. I need to show. Right? All that is all bonding. It is not letting you to go to your own truth. Know your own truth. Very important aspect of it. So as I start to progress into my path of realization, as I start to look at my own sadhana, as I start to look at my own insight, introspection, I will quickly start to realize that what are the 3-4 things that are obstructing me, the obstacles of my sadhana. Each one of us have to sit and understand what are the things that's bothering us, what are the things that's holding us back in not getting the reality or not getting into the truth. Very, very important. This is why Patriji also talks about introspection as a major aspect of it. We have to introspect at some point or other, trying to understand what is going on in my mind. And taking this to one step further, we also know about this tapatrayas. There are 3 types of tapatrayas: Adi Daivika, Adi Bhautika, Adhyatmika. Tapatrayas. Bodily affairs. I'm stuck with my body activities, body pains, physical activities. I'm not able to sit beyond 20 minutes. I'm not able to sit beyond 1 hour. My body is aching. My body is moving. My body doesn't, cooperate with me. All that happens Adi Bhautika. Adi Daivika, mindly subtle things. It is because of Adi Daivika that we are not able to realize oneness. Because mind is playing a trick with me. What does mind does? Conglomeration of thoughts. It is not letting me to look at the deeper state of my being. And mind is the gateway for sin. All sins are starting from my thought. Everything. Right? So what is happening? I need to somehow figure it out. How do I get out of this? What do I need to do? Where do I draw the line? I'll give you, we'll go a little deeper on this Adi Daivika thing. I'll give you what are the doshas in the mind that is stopping us to get there, right? We'll talk about that briefly as well. But then the third one, which is equally important, is Adi Adhyatmika. Spiritual activities, right? The sadhana that I'm trying to do, it is also holding me back. Adhyatmika. What is happening here is I'm not able to get anything out of it. Spiritual activities related, anything and everything that I am doing, anything and everything that I'm trying to do here is happening because of a reason. Even spiritual growth that I have this, I have that, is also an obstacle. At some point, the very puja that we are doing becomes our own obstacle. Because we are so engrossed in that, after a while, we are all fear-mongering, people, right? Human beings. We never think that I am a spiritual being out to have human experience. We never think it that way. We think the other way around. We think that we are human beings out to have spiritual experience. And that's the problem. The truth is, we are spiritual beings out to have human experience. But I don't agree. That's not what I see. What I see is I'm a human being out to have spiritual experience. Always bottom up. I don't do top down. Because of that, you will have Adi Daivika, Adi Adhyatmika. Never, ever able to get out of it. Now, coming to the subtle part of the mind, which is equally very, very important. If we are able to get out of these doshas that your mind has, then we achieve what we need to achieve. All my effort, all my sadhana, all my swadhyayana, all my sajjana sangatyam, everything is for my mind. Period. To get out of these doshas. We talk about three things today, right? Ishanatrayam, Dareshana, Putreshana, Daneshana. We talk about tapatrayas, Adi Daivika, Adi Bhautika, Adhyatmika. Now we are talking about Adi, within that Adi Daivika, the mind part of it, what are the doshas? There are three doshas that is making us, our mind go external, not internal. Why is my mind not going internal, inside? It's because of these three doshas. I've given you different flavors of it. Initially, we talked about the karma, the vasanas. Now we talked about the Ishanatraya, and then now we are talking about tapatrayas. And within tapatrayas, how the Adi Daivika, the mind part of it, is creating the doshas. There are three doshas: mala, vikshepana, avarana. This is what Shastras talk about. Mala means whatever you are doing with your indriyas, right? Harishad Vargas. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. These are all mala doshas. Naturally, we get that. Naturally. Every one of us have these three doshas. Some may enlightened, we're not talking about enlightened masters, exceptions wise, but everybody in the human race, right, will probably have these three doshas. Mala dosha, Harishad Vargas. How do I get out my Harishad Vargas are the main reason for my sins? Every one of them will create a sin. Whether you think, whether you talk, whether you do, in either of these modes, you are accumulating sins, papas. So the only way, why, this is where it comes, where, in our society, especially in the pyramids, spiritual society movement, Patriji mandated that we have to do karma yoga. Why? Nishkamya karma is the only way for us to correct this mala dosha. If you want to let out of this mala dosha within you, you have to do seva, nishkamya seva. That's why teach meditation, share your experiences, share your knowledge of truth, conduct satsangs, join sessions, be part of the movement all the time, do your service. When, how, where, it's all up to you, but you got to be doing some form of service, because mala dosha has to go away from your mind. You will not uplift yourself if you have this dosha. Major obstacle for our progression. Find an opportunity to go do some kind of seva. What type of seva you do is up to you. But when you are doing nishkamya seva means you are doing service not for others, not to impress others, not to gain anything out of that service. You are doing service for the sake of humanity, for the sake of truth, for the sake of God. And the result of it has to go back to God. We have to understand this very clearly. When you do nishkamya seva, you should not be reminded by people to do what you need to do as a duty. You are duty bound when you are doing nishkamya seva. The main reason why a lot of us who are doing spiritual seva, we are not able to progress is because of mala dosha. Because when I am doing it, I have that I am feeling, right? I am doing it. I am the one. So because of that, I am stuck in that bondage. I'm not going to able to liberate myself. I am creating karma. If you want to take away the sin of malas, You have to do nishkamya. There should not be any presence of ego whatsoever. If somebody slaps you while you're doing your spiritual work, you should accept it very wisely. No reactions, only responses. That is nishkamya karma, karma yogi. Only through that process, your mala dosha in your mind will go away. What happens is all that jealousiness, all that comparisons, all that anger, all that ego, everything, whatever we carry through this process, you are actually subsiding it because you are doing this service, involuntary service, right? You are expecting nothing out of it. You are spending a lot of your time. You are connected to the truth. You are doing divine work. You are doing for the humanity, for the universe, for the nature. So what happens? Naturally, your mind will start to calm down. It will happen naturally. You are not doing anything. You're just doing the service. That's it. So there is no room for emotional activity. It is because of that emotion that you create the karma. So there is no room for emotion at all. When you come with a very clear mind that I have come here to do nishkamya seva. But if you come for nishkamya seva and you lose it, you are going to carry big sin. Big sin. Because knowingly you're doing big sin. The intensity of your papa goes significantly high when you come to spiritual work and then you do something wrong. So that is why in the society, it is engraved, right? I mean, Patriji, what he did is, the beautiful thing is, not just you are doing your own sadhana, you have to do some form of service. I know about jhanam, but I don't tell anyone. It is a papam. If I know dhyanam, if I know that I am with the truth, I am Arihant. If I tell others, I am Bodhisattva. If I go and teach everyone, that is Buddhatva. Only in Buddhatva, you are released, you are realized, you are relieved of the samsara. In other two places, you have to come back. If I know jhanam, I know very well what peace is, what happiness is, how do I get that? But I don't want to teach it to anyone else. That means that you are coming back again. Period. There is no doubt about it. Because you are only Arihant. You are not even Bodhisattva because you are not even telling others who are coming to you. You are just keeping it to yourself. You are trying to enjoy your own bliss. You're not sharing it. When you're not sharing it, because someone shared with me, that's how I got it. When I'm not sharing it, it is not passing. So what happens? It gets stuck with me. When I'm stuck with it, I've got my karma. With that karma, I got to take one more birth. Inevitable. You'll have to come back again. Same goes on the second stage where you are teaching to others, but you're not ready to go out and teach others. I'm only teaching to people who are coming to my place and asking me, knocking my door. I will only do that. I will not go out and teach. You'll not realize you have to come back again. Whatever you are learning, the truth, because that is the only one that can give you peace and happiness. And every human being or every living being is entitled for that. If you understand that greater truth, and if you start to live by the code of the truth, is only when you get realization, liberation, Buddhatva. Otherwise, you're going to come back. So again, right, coming back to this, why this mala is important is Patriji mandated to all of us saying that, okay, what you have learned, you share. You have an experience in your meditation, you share that experience. If somebody comes to you or you go somewhere else, if they don't know about meditation, you teach them meditation. Why? To make sure that mala doshas are gone. Gone. Just by doing this one act, you are taking care of mala doshas. Such is the important. The next one is vikshepana. Vikshepana means lack the rajoguna aspect of it. Right? The rajogunam which is a very, very powerful thing. Tamogunam, obviously laziness and all that is there, but Rajogunam is what is making my mind go outward. It is not letting me sit and be quiet. My mind is going on thoughts forever and ever and ever because of Rajoguna. Lack of focus. My mind is not in control. I'm not able to understand. Where do I take this? How do I do that? All that is happening. This requires constant practice. Vikshepana doshas means letting go of those worldly thoughts, external thoughts, whatever it is. How do I do that? Upasana, vipassana, pranayama, trying to repeatedly bring your mind back in line, back in line, back in line, back in line. Developing that focus and concentration, dharana, pratyahara, dharana, process in Ashtanga Yoga, Patanjali Ashtanga Yoga. So what am I trying to do is I'm trying to bring that contented thing instead of my mind focusing on 100 things. I'm trying to bring it and focus on one thing, dharana. Instead of multi-fold, I'm making it single-fold. That is upasana. Upasana means you do whatever penance, and then you say that I'm going to come and near my breath. I'm going to sit, breath upasana or swasa upasana. You sit, you just observe your breath. That's it, nothing. Practice, 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 practice. When you do practice, not during your meditation time, when you're outside. Get used to be with your breath. Swasena baddhate manaha. Pranena baddhate manaha. Manasa baddhate pranaha. Practice that process where your mind is attached to the breath so that you have focus. That Rajoguna aspect of going and then external thoughts, all of that is going to come down. Very, very important one. This is probably the most reason why everyone comes into meditation, but they don't have that patience to sit through this phase of dosha, vikshepana dosha, because my mind is running outside all the time. We cannot, it is not an easy one to bypass. It is not easy. You require, it's called titiksha. Shankaracharya talks about this, titiksha, uparati. Patience, perseverance. You have to have lot of patience. Sahaname pragati. There will be thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of thoughts coming your way. You have to be patient. Patiently. Let them come. You bring your attention back to your breath. You go back again. You bring it back again. This process will continue. The world of thoughts will transcend at one fine moment in your practice. If you are a real practitioner, real sadhaka, a day will come when you are transcending beyond the state of thoughts. And that is when we know what real truth is all about. That is when you will know what void means. That is when we will know what sunya, parisunya, mahaparisunya, and all that blissful states that we are talking about in the deeper state of meditations. But for that, we have to be absolutely patient. The more time you spend in meditation, the faster you get out of this thought state. It is all about how much time you are able to give, how much of it you are able to empty from your system. Every day morning, I am accumulating 10,000 thoughts. I am not doing meditation. What is happening? Day after day, day after day. After 10 days, it's going to become 1 lakh. Right? So that accumulation is going on inside. This is infinite, right? This goes on forever in my mental plane. All that has to come out from my childhood, from my previous births. I'm carrying so much of baggage. All that baggage has to go. So I have to be patient. It is because of this Vikshepana dosha, we are not able to get to where we need to get it. The third one is Avarana dosha, lack of knowledge. Lack of knowledge. Period. When I say knowledge, the knowledge about truth, not the knowledge about life, the knowledge about truth. I don't know, or I don't remember, or I forgot, or I never pay attention. Whatever we call, because of that, we will have the Avarana dosha. Why is my mind not able to come back to the breath, or why is that I am not able to sit for longer time is meditation? Is because I don't understand, or I don't have the requisite knowledge to be able to make an attempt to sit in meditation for longer time. So this is another thing that we need to start to look at it, right? How do I bring back? What do I need to do? Satsangam, reading books, sitting with Acharya Sangatya, very important one. Sitting with masters who are aligned to the truth. Not every master. Please understand, if I am going and sitting with the masters who are not realized, then you are adding, you are lumping up more. You're getting more karma. You have to make sure that whenever we are talking about Acharya Sangatya or Sajjana Sangatya, those individuals have to be aligned to the truth, or they should have been realized truth, or they should be senior enough that they understand the truth. Only those can give you that information. So I'm just going and sitting with one guru who I say that, okay, he's a real guru, but he's not realized, he's not enlightened, or he's not in the path of truth, then that is not going to help us. Because he's going to create a bond. Guravo bhagavassanti shishya vittapaharakaha durlabhasya guru loke shishya santapaharakaha is how Guru Gita talks about. It's very, very easy to fall for the gurus that are out there who are looking out for your material gains, right? Who are attracted to your money. Guravo bhagavassanti shishya vittapaharakaha. Vittamu means money. They are for your money. They are giving you this, they are giving you that. It's all for money. The relationship is money. Durlabhasya guru loke shishya santapaharaka. The one who is realized is very difficult to find. But if you can find one, he can relieve, he can give you the peace what you're looking for. Shishya santapaharaka. He can take you out from suffering. That guru is what we are talking. Find that guru, know that guru who that is, or in that path of truth, seekers spend time in their association, because in their association you will always, they are with lot of vairagya, they are doing lot of abhyasa. Because of that, what happens? They are always bringing you back into that state of reality, state of truth, right? You are in the truthhood, like brotherhood. That is always there. The more you are in that relationship, the more you are in the association of that type of gurus, the faster you get out of this vikshepana, avarana dosha. Because for them, they only talk about knowledge of truth. They don't talk about anything else. When you have a master who constantly talks about truth, what happens? Somehow, hook or crook, you're going to pick up some aspects of it. Tinaga tinaga vematiyan. You listen, you automatically pick up. Like the way iron pin, when you rub against the magnet, what happens? The iron pin becomes it. Acharya Sangatya. It's very, very important. Iti achanoti, acharati, iti acharyayeti, iti acharya is what Amarkosam said. Yachinoti, he actually begged for the truth. right? He acharati, he practiced the truth. Acharyeti, it attained that state of acharya in the process. That acharya is what we want here. So what happens is these doshas will go away. Mala, vikshepana, avarana doshas. After that, your mind is pure. You're ready for inner experience. You're ready for truth. Experience the truth. So whenever we come to meditation, we should not come to the meditation with a fixed mind that I want to get something out of it. You have to come to the meditation with only one feeling or one thought. That is, I want to be in that state of truth. I am that I am. That is what we are here. You want the peace, you want the happiness. If you just don't put any sankalpas, you don't drag yourself in between your nature and the truth, everything will happen. But the moment you intervene and say, I want this, I want that, your mind has pulled you out into these doshas. Whenever you sit for meditation, if your mind is saying that I want this, I want that, then you should know that I have dosha. I have to get out of it. You got to find out which dosha is that. Mala, vikshepana, avarana. So start thinking in the direction. Why is that my meditation is not working for me? Why is that I am not able to sit for longer time? Why is that I am not able to get into the deeper state of meditation? What is holding up? What are the things that I need to do to bring back that reality, that state of my sadhana? How do I get that adhikaratva? Uttama, Madhyama, Manda. There are three types of adhikaris. Uttamadhikari, Madhyamadhikari, Mandadhikari. Mandadhikari means masses. Madhyamadhikari, repeatedly listening, but not there yet. Uttamadhikari, yes. If you tell him one time, two times, he gets it. So we all have to come from Mandadhikari to Madhyamadhikari, Madhyamadhikari to Uttamadhikari. Only when we become Uttamadhikari, we get the truth. You are entitled now. You have earned your right to know the truth or become the truth. Until that happens, truth will not relieve itself to us. So this practice, whatever we are talking, to get to that is all about meditation. That is the purpose. Dhyana Satya Gnana Pradayini. Period. The knowledge of truth is the essence of meditation. The essence of meditation is awareness. What is awareness? Because you are aware every moment. When you are aware, you are not going to make any mistakes. No sin will come to you. So let us start to practice this in our daily lives, understand these obstacles. So I'll just repeat it again. Ishanatrayam, Dareshana, Putreshana, Daneshana. We have to overcome that. In that process, we talked about Tapatrayas, Adi Daivika, Adi Bhautika, Adhyatmika. And within that Adi Daivika, the subtleness of the mind, the thoughts, we talked about the mind doshas. Mala, Vikshepana, Avarana doshas. Why do I need to know about all these things? Is when you understand what are your obstacles, what is that's not allowing you to go deeper, what is not that is stopping you from getting out of the suffering, the miseries of the life, and what is that I need to do to get my peace and happiness in my life. When I am born with that, I'm entitled to be with peace and happiness. Why am I not there? So what am I doing wrong that I'm not there? These obstacles will help us to understand that and overcome within us. Any questions? take 5 minutes of questions and then we'll get meditation. Any questions? The subject also goes very deep, but it is enough for us to understand that these are the reasons why I am not able to do more penance, right? No questions? Either it's very clear or it's totally out of it. All right, then no questions. Then let's start meditation, masters. Let's do it for half hour, 40 minutes maybe. Yeah. Let us take off the glasses, sit very comfortably. Let us sit very comfortably in our best postures. Close our eyes. Clasp your fingers. Cross your foot. If you're sitting on a chair or if you're sitting on the floor, just clasp your fingers. Let us become one with our breath. That is the goal, my dear masters. Becoming one with our breath. There is a great saying in Brihadaranyupanishad. Talks about Trayamva idam namarupa karmani. Everything in this world is name, form, and karma. That's it. Our association is on these three things: name, form, and karma. Brihadaranyupanishad. Trayamba idam namarupa karma. Happily sit. Close your eyes. Just follow the nature within. Let us become one with the breath. Mind will be settled. It's calm, it's balanced, it's centered. Body is still in the perfect posture. Your breath is slowly regulating. Slowly bring your awareness and attention to your breath. Make sure you are observing the breath. Just observe the natural, normal, tranquil, soft, tender, beautiful, and wonderful breath. When you are with your breath, your mind is automatically in line. Pranena baddhate mana. The prana controls the mind. Be with your breath, my dear masters. Be with your breath. Be with your breath. Be with your breath. Last 1 minute. Last 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Please slowly take your hands and put it on your eyes, masters. Whenever you're ready, slowly open your eyes and look at your palms. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, masters. Thank you for the wonderful opportunity. Let us all thank the masters, universe, and the energies we received today. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. At this time, anyone would like to share experience or any questions? Please go ahead. Right. No questions then. Let's call it night. We'll see you all tomorrow. We are meeting for satsang tomorrow at 5:30, which is going to be early in the morning for India. But we will have the Zoom session on, this Zoom session on. So if you are interested to be part of the satsang virtually, please do join in the Zoom so that you can, we'll also have wisdom sharing. We'll also have questions, question and answers. The format is going to be excellent. So please do join us tomorrow virtually if you're available, or if you're physically closer here. We are doing it in one of the master's house tomorrow. So join us there. All right. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening. Take care. Bye-bye. Good night. Good morning, India.